Welcome to yet another one-off This Week I Watched adjacent video, the first of hopefully many full-length videos on the second Super Video channel. I'm Karl, and you possibly recognise me from my slightly successful YouTube shorts, where I review the films I've watched recently. Today, I'll be talking about some of the TV shows I watched over the course of the last year, giving you my thoughts on some of my favourite and least favourite series of 2025. Think of this as last year I watched, but the TV edition. Now, I was inspired to do this after watching Red Letter Media's video on the same topic, so go check that out because it's probably much better and funnier than this one. I don't even have a script for this one, so it might get a bit rambly at points, but I'll try to keep it brief. The first show that I would like to talk about that I watched last year was the Star Wars series Andor. Despite being a Star Wars series, this was one of the best shows of the whole year and of the whole Star Wars franchise in my opinion. The first season came out a few years ago, so this was obviously the second season and final season, unfortunately, though given the time frame of creating the series, I understand why they ended it at 2. It did kind of affect the pacing of the last few arcs for me, but the rest of the show kind of made up for it with just how well made, well thought out, well written, well acted. Everything was just so good. Everything felt so real, everything was relevant to everything going on in the world, but in a Star Wars lens, you can really see where they're getting their inspirations from, and they're not focusing on bringing back Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever the hell, bringing back stupid random droids and aliens from the Clone Wars TV show. They're actually focusing on making a good story more than anything else. Tony Gilroy is not really a Star Wars fan, which is why he was the perfect guy to make the show. I wish some other shows would learn from that. Star Wars, other just shows in general, really. It's better to be a fan of classic literature and kind of history and put that into your show rather than being a fan of the original Star Wars movie and put all your references in. You know what I mean. The show had a very strong cast: Diego Luna, Stellan Skarsgård, Kyle Soller, Denise Gough, Adria Arjona, just to name a few. There's so many really good, I literally cannot name all of them because it would take me forever. Those are just some of the better performances in my mind than the main characters, really. Genevieve O'Reilly, obviously. Every character I cared about, I didn't feel myself wanting to skip a certain character because they all had something compelling going on. Every character had something to say, something to do. Most of their fates, all of their fates really kind of end up how you would expect. This does of course lead into Rogue One and the original trilogy, so returning characters like Cassian Andor and Mon Mothma, you know where they're going to end up, but the journey makes up for it because oh my god, this was the best show of the year for me. Speaking of really well made shows, the Vince Gilligan series Pluribus was also a very big end of year favourite for me. Obviously coming off Better Call Saul, he's gone in with just another like masterpiece straight out of the gate. Ray Seahorn, I think that's her name. She's really good. She was great in Better Call Saul and she's carrying the whole show by herself really because, not to say too much about the show, but it's really just about like one of the last regular people on Earth dealing with like a almost world-ending situation. Deals with loneliness and grief, all these things. It just makes for a really well show. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, this show's too slow for me, Walter White isn't blowing up enough stuff, don't watch the show. Why? You're watching a show like this for stupid explosions. It has explosions. It's a show about the characters. Shut up. I hate you.
Oh, Pluribus is so slow. Pluribus is so boring. You're boring.
Where was I? Yeah, it's just really well made. Again, real locations for 99% of the show, really fleshed out characters, and kind of a really interesting sci-fi scenario to put think about what you would do in that situation. You understand why the characters do things that they do. The main character, Karl, she's a cynical, curmudgeonly author who ends up having to deal with this situation on her own. And I feel like a lot of people in that situation would not make the best choices either, which is what makes the show so interesting. So That's another favourite. It ended only a couple of weeks ago, around Christmas, I believe. Yeah, still counts. Still a perfect show, so I'm looking forward to the next season. Obviously, season 2 has been approved, but it's not coming out for a few years, so I guess I'm just going to have to rewatch Better Call Saul in the meantime. This one's a bit of a weirder one because it's kind of half fictional, semi-scripted, a little bit of a reality. I don't even know what to class it as, but that was The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder. It was just the first season, again, came out a few years ago. This was now the second season on HBO Max or something, or Paramount, I don't know. There's a joke about that in the show somewhere. Nathan Fielder once again comes up with this elaborate scenario where he builds an entire airport in a warehouse and fills it with actors who follow around the pilot. It's a show about, the season is about preventing airline disasters by looking at how they happen and what we can do to prevent them. So he takes it upon himself to figure out that the reason for these airline crashes is because the first mate and the pilot don't talk, or the co-pilot don't talk to each other enough, and they don't communicate well enough, so he creates an entire elaborate situation to get these pilots to talk to each other. Ends up recreating Sully Sullenberger's life from birth till the crash on the River Hudson. It's utterly ridiculous. I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. You never know how far he's going to go. I think that's the best part of the show, is just you don't know what's going to happen next. A very similar show in that regard, Tim Robinson's The Chair Company. I actually went into this, I hadn't really watched much Tim Robinson at all. In fact, I think I'd only seen like 1 or 2 of his sketches on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. So I knew a tiny bit of what to expect with his sense of humour, and then going in, watching that first episode, I'm a massive fan now, having finished the whole show. It's hilarious. There were just so many bizarre characters, bizarre moments. You don't know how to react to these things, so you have to laugh. And that's what makes the show so great. It's a show about a conspiracy. This office worker suffers a humiliating accident in front of his entire workplace while giving a presentation, and he ends up uncovering this big conspiracy about the company that makes the chairs for the company that he works for. And you're watching it and you think, oh, is he crazy? Is he actually imagining all this? And then he ends up uncovering this real, actual conspiracy that goes way further than you would think. Tim Robinson's great. All of his co-stars, he just picks the best one scene actors, and they just own their scene. The supporting characters, I don't remember any of the characters' names, unfortunately. The dude that he teams up with to investigate everything is hilarious. His co-worker Jim Downey is also great. He's great in a bunch of stuff I watched last year. Just everyone in that show is absolutely just knows what they're doing. They play their part, whether they're taking it seriously and it's funny because of that, or whether they're just going like out the roof crazy. I really recommend all of these shows so far. Now these next few shows didn't come out last year, but I watched them for the first time last year. The first show, Twin Peaks, I watched the entire, both series and the film for the very first time because of David Lynch's passing. I'd never seen Twin Peaks. I'd seen like Mulholland Drive or something at that point, and Dune, and that was it. So I decided to watch the whole thing. I tried to watch it a few years ago, and I was like, oh, this is... I don't actually know why I didn't finish it. Maybe my free trial ran out or something, but the first, like the original season it's got a very good mystery, and I knew, like nowadays, modern day, you know kind of how it turns out. There's all the mysterious Red Room, Black Lodge, dream walking doppelganger stuff. Back in the day, that must have been a thing to watch, so I knew what to expect, but the mystery itself of who killed Laura Palmer was like really interesting, and some of the themes they get into are like really, really deep. Just a great show overall, very well made. There's a slump in the second, everyone says skip the slump. It turns into a soap opera. I'm not going to do that when I'm watching the show for the first time. I'm probably not even going to skip it if I ever rewatch the show, because there are genuinely some really funny moments in this. The show is a lot funnier than I expected it to be, especially dealing with like the murder of this teenage girl. just everything surrounding it, it's just so bizarre, a bit like the last few shows. There are just these really oddly funny moments that balance really well with the kind of atmosphere and the investigation and everything. It's like the X-Files before the X-Files. I don't know, that's not even the best description because the X-Files kind of took itself very seriously at points. Highly recommend both the original run and the return and the film Fire Walk With Me. The other show I watched for the first time that didn't come out last year but has been around for a while, comedy series Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. Not too much to say here other than just it's hilarious. It's like a funny show I watched all year. I keep saying that for all of the shows I'm talking about, but that one, I was laughing at something in every single episode. Larry David is just the perfect person. He's a character in himself. He plays a version of himself that becomes a new character. He's George Costanza, but to the extreme. He's even better than George Costanza. Larry David is great. He turns the simplest misunderstandings into 20-minute long arguments where he's screaming at his best friend's wife and they're best friends by the next episode, and then he gets kicked out of another dinner party, and you watch it to see how is he going to screw this up for everyone around him and himself, and when it happens, it's genuinely hilarious. Again, the guest stars, it's a very improv-based show. I think it was like 90% unscripted, so the improv-based actors are the strongest parts of it. The guest stars is Bob Einstein.
I can't stand your water.
There's Richard Lewis, the cast of Seinfeld, Mel Brooks, Ben Stiller, David Schwimmer. I'm just naming all of the... Leon, the character Leon, the funniest character of the 21st century, in my opinion. Just the way he interacts with Larry. Oh my god. I can't even... It's just too funny to think about. Really quick mentions for shows that I started last year that either haven't finished or that I haven't finished. Obviously Fallout Season 2 came out in one of the last few weeks of last year. That's going really well so far. I'm really enjoying it like the first season. Really excited to see where it goes. New Vegas, obviously very good game. I'm playing Fallout 3 at the moment, so I'm in the mood. And then there's Mad Men. I started watching Mad Men about a month ago. It is like Breaking Bad level, just like one of the best. All these other shows I'm talking about, it's going to be up there once I finish it. I haven't finished it yet. I'm up to season 3 so far. It's just really great. I love all these characters just hanging out in their office. They spend half the episode smoking and drinking with each other and like making fun of each other. It's just really cool to like sit there and pretend you're part of, like, laughing at all their jokes. Just pretend you're hanging out with them. That sounds really sad, but it's fun. And obviously the plots, like the advertising. Oh, how's Don gonna come up with the advertisement for Pepsi? It's fun. It's really fun. Period piece. I love the costumes, the sets, everything. It's a great show so far. And now, because I've spent so much time talking about the shows I did like, I'm going to spend some more time speaking about the shows I didn't like. Now, if you're a fan of Super Video Studios, the original channel, you may have seen my 20-minute long review of Doctor Who Season 2, Series 15 or whatever, with Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor, Russell T Davies running the show into the ground. Very poor season of the show. Started out strong, and then it just kind of collapsed. It burrowed into the ground, took a nosedive into the core of the earth type of quality. Just absolute rubbish. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but it obviously affected the rest of the show. We got a stupid ending, an abrupt ending to the 15th Doctor's time on the show. Very stupidly written, and bringing back stupidly nostalgic, oh, we're bringing back Billy Piper because everyone loves that era of the show. As I was saying with Andor earlier, you have to be a fan of, like, you have to draw on other things other than the show itself if you want your show to be good. You have to, like, take from other places rather than just circling back to the same 4 years of Doctor Who. It's stupid. I'm getting mad. It's really stupid. And I think the show needs change more now than it ever did. I don't care if it gets cancelled for another 20 years because I would be happy to not see this stupid version of the show continue. Russell T Davies needs to quit. Just get a new team. Just go back to the way it is. I sound like an old guy from the from the 70s, but just go back to the way it used to be. Speaking of shows that keep circling back to silly things, I did not enjoy Alien Earth either. I thought I would. I wanted to watch the first episode and I was like, why is this kind of not good? And as it continued, it just got less good as time went on. Just silly decisions, one after the other. Every character is written to be a complete idiot. I don't know why a group of children in adult bodies are like your new characters. Like, I like the android parts of the main films and the commentary on whatever, but this one was just really just poorly done. None of the characters acted likable at all. Timothy Oliphant as, what the hell is his name? Kirsch was like the only character I liked. Oh, the android Morrow. He was really good because he was like actively trying to kill the main characters and I really wanted him to succeed. That was fun. Surprisingly, the show made me not want to see the alien. They kept showing the alien. The alien looked terrible, acted like an idiot as well. They've introduced some new thing where the main robot girl can control the alien. I don't care. I don't know how you could make this franchise, like a show like this, as boring or as stupidly portrayed. I don't know. I liked Romulus, even though it was a bit of, again, circling back to nostalgia. I was really confused as to why it was so, like, not good, because the showrunner Noah Hawley did a really good job on every season of Fargo that I've seen. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe he's just not suited for Alien. I hear Legion is really good, so again, it's not like he can't write sci-fi or anything. It's just for some reason this show turned out to be the stupid one. Didn't like it. And in recent news, Stranger Things finally finished after 10 years. It was one of the shows that I just didn't finish watching this year. I don't think I am going to finish it because I don't care for it anymore. Just a lot of silly decisions once again, forgetting a lot of what made the show good in the first place. Characters I don't care for anymore. A lot of like weird inconsistencies and retcons and things like that. Not going to get into it, but it's obviously a very different show than what it used to be. It's a glorified Marvel show now, where the 80s is the whole premise rather than just the setting. It's really stupid. I'm not gonna recommend. I think that's all I have to say about the TV shows I watched last year. Again, very rambling video, very unscripted. Hopefully this will be the first of many more videos like this, a couple more scripted videos, video essays, more reviews, maybe a few more TV show reviews once the other shows finish this year, maybe another roundup like this time next year. Stick around for this second channel. We're going to be uploading more kind of behind the scenes and review focused stuff onto that second channel. Please like and subscribe, and obviously subscribe to the main channel. Watch all of our short films and filmmaking videos that we're putting out behind the scenes, everything like that. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching.